Hut 1, Hut 2, Hut 3. No, that's not the play I called. Let's do it again. Oh wait, who am I kidding? I'm just a voice on your device getting you to the next week of fantasy football on Coach Couch Fantasy Football Talk. That's right, folks. Welcome back to the school of five-time fantasy football champion Scott Lieberman, providing the X's and O's and I's and T's and whatever else you need to effectively optimize those lineups for your fantasy football squads. I also want to elaborate a little bit on the psyche of the fantasy football competitor, such as myself, of course. In episode 1, we sort of brought it up, but more should be shared. What is the fuel that feeds this competitive spirit? Is it superstition? Is it control? Is it the ability to read things before they produce as a result? Do we have some sort of magic potion that truly gives us the edge? You know, every week, I'm playing in 4 leagues. I'm in front of the TV, red zone on. Sometimes I'm sitting, sometimes I'm standing on my feet. It's funny because I position myself like a real coach when I'm on my feet. I just have like this focus, like it's all or nothing, like I'm about to do the play call and I can kind of see it coming a mile away. Hence, can we see it happen before it happens? It's just this really anxiety-driven energy that goes right through me, and I don't think enough people talk about it. But more of this in Week 6 when we talk with Chris Dell, founder of bettingpredators.com, a real pro and highly respected amongst the fantasy football realm. I'll be discussing him a little bit more next week before we get to Week 6 after 5. Super excited for you to find out about this guy. Just to give you a heads up, new episodes will be online every Tuesday where you can listen on Apple Music, Spotify, Google Play, and Amazon Music. Let's get to the studs of Week 3. Oh my God, was this guy ever the waiver wire pickup of the week? Could be the year. Oh my geez, Jawan Jennings. Also, my biggest regret of the week is starting him in only 2 of the 3 leagues that I have him. Should have started him in all 3, but that's why we can't have nice things, am I right? Then I do the math in the league I didn't start him in, and I'm just scratching my head on that one. So I really got to move on from that. A whopping flirting with 50 points, this guy. Wide receiver 3 of the 49ers, and still gets looks even when Deebo Samuel and George Kittle are playing with Brandon Ayuk. Now that Deebo is out, he gets 12 targets, 11 receptions, 175 yards, and the hat trick. That's right, 3 touchdowns. Can you say you are Jawan that I want? While Deebo, Kittle, and McCaffrey are not playing and Ayuk is getting the brunt of defensive coverage, that just leaves the door open for Jennings to get his piece of the pie, and I feel like he's got some great weeks to come. Even when they are all back, I feel like he's going to be a big part of this offense. And who'd seen this one coming? Andy Dalton, that's right, the Red Rifle himself, 26 of 37, 319 yards, and 3 tutties, leading the Panthers to their first win. Fun fact for you, I saw him in an airport once in North Carolina. Not to brag, but we're best friends now. Now that this guy has a viable supporting cast with Deontay Johnson, Chuba Hubbard, and when healthy Adam Thielen to pop his numbers, that's a guy you got to start. Whether it's a fill-in based on matchup, or someone's on a bye week, or you know what? One could argue even after 1 week he could be your QB1 if your current QB1 is not already playing up to par. Dalton is the guy to go to. Only owned in 5% of Yahoo leagues as of now, but Waiver Wire Wednesday should increase that when we hit it tomorrow. I mentioned this guy in my previous episode, and I think I may have mispronounced his name, so this is just a matter of getting it right, as the Vikings once said. Malik Neighbors. I think I said Malik last week. Malik Neighbors does it again, posting superstar fantasy and real-life statistical numbers, but doing this under the radar. 8 of 12, 78 yards, and 2 touchdowns. 36 receptions in 2 weeks. This past one coming against a stout Cleveland defense. That is monstrous. He slides nicely as your wide receiver 1 or even a flex every week based on his previous draft placement. If you drafted him in later rounds like he was placed, then chances are you got a good hidden talent right there who's going to win you some games and possibly your league. Dinks and dunks pickups of the week. That Houston defense, oh boy, they're playing Jacksonville this week, and based on how the Jags have moved the ball lately, looking at you against Buffalo Bills defense, I feel like the Houston defense is your start. Now, I admit I was wrong a week ago when I said to start any defense would suffice against Carolina, but Andy Dalton's resurgence has proven me wrong. Another guy who's owned in only 9% of Yahoo leagues right now, and thanks to Jim Nantz and Tony Romo for this, Andre Osivas, complimenting T. Higgins and Jamar Chase in Cincinnati. Almost 40 points in 3 weeks. Like I said, 9% of Yahoo leagues, so he's still out there for most of you. Yesterday, 7 targets with 5 of them in hand for 52 yards and a touchdown. 2 touchdowns in week 1 when Higgins was out. When Chase and Higgins are getting the bulk of the defense on them, this guy is going to produce. And don't forget, with no T. Higgins in week 1 and 2, great flex guy. Now let's talk about our duds, the repeat offenders. Michael Pittman and Travis Kelce. Alarming? Yes. Time to bench them? Not so much. I feel that Kelce comes with more upside than Pittman right now based on what he and Mahomes have done in the past together and the type of damage that they can do. To be honest, Mahomes did in fact come out this week and admit that he knows folks at home are saying things about getting Kelce the ball.
Yeah, it's crazy because teams still, the respect factor they have for Travis is just unreal. It's well deserved, but we're calling a lot of plays for Travis, and it's like 2 or 3 people are going to him. He understands. I think that's the great thing about him is he wants to make an impact on the game, but he wants to win at the end of the day. And I'm going to try to do my best to keep feeding him the ball whenever he's there and whenever he's open.
12 targets through 3 weeks is only productive when he's going to get the yards and the scores. He is Travis Kelce, and that's why I have to start him, but my patience is almost thin. Michael Pittman, 20 targets, 11 receptions through the 3 weeks, which, although not bad, he's still not getting the sufficient yak. That's yardage after catch for those of you who do not know. On pace with the same strategy, but more scoring for him needs to happen, and he and Anthony Richardson just got to get on the same page. I don't know what it is between Gardner Minshew last year and Anthony Richardson this year. Obviously, Richardson's the higher talent, but they need to start with similar play calls and get Pittman the ball more and pepper him. Honorable mention goes to Mike Evans. Look at that, guys. Mike Evans blew up in week 1, but since has disappeared in favor of Chris Godwin in that Bucs offense. He's just one of those guys that, he doesn't have like a mediocre game or a fair game. He either blows up or blows up in your face. Matter of fact, 2 years ago, I was playing against him in one of my leagues. My buddy Lenny had him in the championship game. Hadn't done anything for the past, 5 or 6 weeks or whatnot. And then suddenly just blows up. Tom Brady, bomb after bomb after bomb, killed me. And I finished second place that year, but we won't talk about that anymore. He's just one of those guys that, he comes in large doses. So basically, I feel like this is the week he's going to come balls blazing versus Philly. My sleeper pick of the week, and that just goes kind of as a byproduct of what we just discussed, Chris Godwin. Normally a main namesake in the heart of fantasy football, but with Mike Evans outshining him just a year ago, he has come back to life. On the season, 21 receptions, only 1 more than Michael Pittman, but he is getting the yards. 253 yards and 3 touchdowns, posting scores of 22, 25, and 17 in the past 3 weeks. Great fill-in for a wide receiver 1 or 2, and definitely a flex man. Ladies and gentlemen, please don't hesitate to leave feedback. Thank you for listening from wherever you're from. Topics you want covered, formatting. If you'd like your business advertised, you can reach out to s.lieberman1182@gmail.com. That's s.lieberman1182@gmail.com, s.lieberman. I am more than happy to listen, just as you have here. We are on every Tuesday, the day after Monday Night Football, and before Waiver Wire Wednesdays. Good luck to all of you in your games this week. Best of luck to everyone in their games this week. See you next Tuesday. This is Coach Couch signing off.